Man, somebody hit that intro.
Boom shakalaka. The Knicks is the difference. Our grit, that's the difference. These kids are just different. And our pop.
Yo, you on mute. You on mute.
Okay, sorry, it was giving me problems unmuting. Yeah. Live and direct once again on your YouTube screen. It is your favorite Knicks of this panel. And of course, y'all already know the rivalry because they had to tell you who I am. I am the one and only Parlay Lord, aka Fraz Taz, here in the building with the Knicks in this panel, never limited to and always included the First Lady of Knicks ish. Mrs. Knicks is in the building with me tonight. Shout out to you as always, sis. And shout out to the rest of the panel, Kev, T-Time. Shout out everybody. Press like for your favorite panel. Share it as always, Kevin. If you do, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell, set it to all so you get all notifications when we go live. And of course, don't forget, y'all, please go and check out the Knicks Is Shopify. Cop yourself some merch like the hat you see here. Sis got one of the lovely Knicks and Ish hoodies on, as you see right there. Definitely go and check the Knicks and Ish Shopify out and cop yourself some merch. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you want us to literally stop in the middle of what we're doing and stop in the middle of what we're talking about to address your comment, question, or concern, please do us a favor and please hit us up with a super chat and we will literally pause the show and address your question, concern, or comment. Um, Housekeeper, who's in here? Who's in here? I can't even see. Darlene is in the building. What's up, sis? Another 82 in the books. Michael Pringle is in the building. What's really good? You know, I mean, who else you got? Sean is in the building. Sean Akins. I hope I'm saying that right. Welcome,
Yeah,
man. Welcome.
it's his sister.
Oh, okay. Cool. I'm sorry. I just, that's the name I saw come up. I didn't want to be rude. You know what I mean? But, yeah, so, I forgot what the final score was, but, most of the,
110.96.
there you go. I ain't going to lie. I forgot. It was a minute. 110.96. Knicks lose this final game of the regular season, as a lot of the starters were resting already, and Mikal Bridges' streak still continues. I'm gonna let Sis start off and give her initial thoughts about this last game.
I mean, it was a meaningless game. It meant nothing for us anyway. So it is what it is. I mean, our starters all sat. Our starters plus sat. Because Shamit also didn't play. But it was good to see, the guys that don't normally play get some burn. We saw great minutes from Deuce, which makes me really happy to see because, his first few games back from injury, his shot looked off. He looked out of rhythm. And today he seems to have found that. And just in the nick of time, literally, because Deuce is going to be vital for us come playoff time. So seeing his shot go down was great. Seeing great minutes again from Jose, who, with the limited rotation that we've been seeing, hasn't gotten a lot of minutes, but you see he stays ready, which I love to see. And I think he will win us a playoff game this season. Mark my words, Miss Nick said it. Great minutes from Sochan, which we haven't seen most of the season either. So great minutes from him. Great minutes from Kevin McCullar Jr. The score is what it is, but let's just be for real. They played their entire team. And we played our end of the second team, third team against them. And I don't think we stacked up bad. I mean, I think we did okay. I mean, this game was meaningless for us and meant a lot for them. So
Yeah, I do agree that this game was very meaningless, but it was good to see a lot of the players on the bench get meaningful minutes in this game and kind of give you a glimpse of what you could get out of them going into the playoffs. Of course, I expected the starters to rest, and definitely Deuce is on the loose once again. Because we all know Deuce has evolved so much from when we first drafted him and brought him here to get to this point, and it is just marvelous to see that Deuce McBride can still come in the game, start, and if he's starting, you might as well book him for 20 almost every game because almost every game he started, he scored 20 points. And it's like you love to see contributions like that to say, okay, if a scenario came about where he had to start, then all right, there's no fall off with the points there. So a lot of good to take out of this game because I don't think the loss was a bad thing. Like Sis said, you could not improve seeding. We already locked in the third seed. And we now know that we are playing the Atlanta Hawks in round one of the NBA playoffs by virtue of Atlanta's loss today. And coupled with the Orlando loss and the Toronto loss, I think Toronto won
Toronto
last night.
won.
Yeah, coupled with the Toronto win, Atlanta drops to 6. Toronto gets 5. So it will be the Knicks and ATL in the first round of the playoffs. So
Which is
San Jose,
crazy to me because Orlando dropped from 7th to 8th with that loss, I think.
but they had a chance at they had an outside chance at 5th, I believe,
Right,
because it was 4 different scenarios that they had.
right.
And of
Yeah.
course, I thought I heard
What's the
3 words
word?
from out of nowhere. I thought I heard 3 words from out of nowhere.
I'm a spark plug.
Yeah, those are the 3 words. So yeah, since we're on the subject, tea time, I'ma just lay in the plane and I'm gonna let you give your thoughts on tonight's game real quick. Since you just
Uh,
pulled up.
yeah, I can't stay long, so I'm gonna give my little spiel, and then I gotta the bounce. I'm at the plantation. You know what I mean? But tonight went as expected. I think nobody thought that we were going to win this game, especially with Atlanta needing to. I mean, not Atlanta. Charlotte needing to win this game and then playing their whole entire roster. All we was looking for was good showing for a few guys. Absolutely happy to see Deuce get his touch back from Sean. You listen. I respect it. He said he expected to win tonight. Yeah, I don't know how. Like I respect it, I guess, but yeah, it was great to see Deuce get his touchback from the 3-point line. It's definitely something that we're gonna need going into the playoffs. Him to be back in rhythm. Uh, I liked how Purdy's play, except for a few fouls, silly fouls that he had tonight. He was definitely good on the boards. Something that we needed. Another hot, like we already knew that he could block shots, but he had a highlight block tonight. Uh, who else? I wanted Jordan Clarkson to, get a little bit more crazy. You feel me? As far as scoring go, but I didn't want him to overexert himself as well because he's somebody that we're going to need in the playoffs. But I'm proud of my guys on this one, even though it was a large lead that we had in this loss. I mean, we a large deficit we had in this loss, but all things considering, I think they played tough. They played competitive. Uh, when all the starters were out, you feel me, except for Macau, but you can't really count 23 seconds.
23 seconds.
And listening to the telecast, they made it seem like there was some murmurings of people having an issue with Macau only playing 23 seconds. And to those people, if you're one of those people that says, "Oh, he's cheating the game," shut the fuck up. Because if this was a game that we needed to play, he would have absolutely been prepared to play 30 something minutes tonight. like he always had. The circumstances called for us not to risk him getting injured. So yes, we put him in to keep his streak intact because if he was needed to play a large minutes tonight, he was ready and available to do so like he has been all season. And when you have a chance to make history, or continue such monumentous kind of streak that only a very select few people in the whole entire history of the NBA has reached this rare air when it comes to consecutive games playing. You don't have that streak broke because you know we already locked in third and this game means nothing. Or you don't risk him getting injured when you have championship aspirations. You know, but but overall to land the plane tonight went as expected. Went as expected. A good Alvarado hitting his shots tonight was something that was a welcoming sign. I don't know what's going to really happen with the rotations in the playoffs as far as the bench go, but seeing that all our guys are off on the bench are in a good rhythm going into the playoffs is a very welcoming sign. Uh, One last thing, everybody on the telecast, everybody was expected to play Toronto. Now we got to play Atlanta matchup. Who gives a fuck? 6-5. All right. If we gonna get more, I get in the week to come before the playoffs start. Me and the panel gonna get together. We're gonna pick a day and we're gonna do a deep dive into the matchup before. But yeah, it don't matter. The Hawks, the Raptors, whatever kind of animal that you put in front of us. They say birds are descendants of dinosaurs. So whatever dinosaur you put in front of us is going to be extinct by the end of the first round for sure. Yeah. I'm gonna land the plane there. But like I said, I'm not staying long. I just wanted to show my face. Just wanted to show my face tonight. But I'm out. Yeah, I just wanted to show my face. Shout out to everybody. I gotta do my little spiel before I go. Shout out to everybody that pulled up. Make sure y'all liking, subscribing, sharing, is caring, all that good stuff. Go cop some merch. Tea time out.
Later. But no, I agree with what he said. Like, it doesn't really matter who we play. I think it is what it is. The fact that Atlanta sat their guys means looks like they wanted to play us. And so if they want to play us, we're going to give them a reason to regret that shit. And I mean, it is what it is. It's going to be a tougher series than Toronto, but not one that I don't think we can't win. I think, Knicks just have to lock in defensively. We have to defend the 3-point line because Atlanta is very much like this Charlotte team that we played today, where they like to run and gun. They like to shoot the three. But as we know, when the Knicks are focused and the Knicks play Knicks basketball and are locked in, they're going to have a hard time. And I mean, realistically, who on their team is going to stop Jalen? Who on their team is going to stop Cat? Who on their team is going to stop OG or Macau when they're locked in and loaded? It is what it is. I think Knicks in 5, no more than 6.
Well, listen, I already know what you're talking about, so I'm just gonna get right into it. First and foremost, shout out everybody in the building. You know what it is. I forgot to say that tonight. But you know, 7 home games coming up for the New York Knicks in this first round series against ATL.
Because I already looked at tickets to Atlanta. Okay.
Yeah. So listen, if you think Knicks fans ain't gonna flood the Garden and then flood down the ATL for this series, you should. Then you got something going on because I'm telling you, Knicks fans is gonna be there, and there's gonna be a lot of Knicks fans in ATL. Please believe it. I saw that last game when we played. There was a lot of Knicks fans down there, so Listen, 7 home games coming up for the Knicks. We just gotta win 4 of them. You know what I mean? And I
What
ain't
up,
gonna lie.
cuz?
Up, cut. Jimmy J wasn't in the building. You already know. I already feel that this team could win in this series in 5 or 6 games. If the Knicks just, play Knicks basketball, do the things that's necessary, like we were doing against these teams at the end of the season with these playoff intensity type games. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? You just got to keep doing it for a 7 game series until you win it, and then win
Mm-hmm.
the next, and then win the next one. That's just how it goes. But I'm telling you, the focus is really on the offense that the Knicks is going to throw out there. I'm telling you right now, teams is gonna have a hard time stopping a 2-man game with Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns, especially how that pick and roll is looking. And it's not just with Karl Anthony Towns and Brunson. Pick and roll for other players is working too. That's how Josh Hart is getting open on these threes to win the game because he's getting a mismatch with a big. And it's like, oh, Josh, go to work. Like, what are we doing here? Like, pause. Like, you got the fucking matchup. It's your time. Like, because teams always hunting the matchup against our guys. And you see what happens when we hunt the matchup, right? Nothing but W's. So again, if we see any kind of offense that we've seen leading up to the end of this season, I'm telling y'all right now, I think the Knicks can get to the finals. I really think so. Well, of course, first things first.
We
Knicks
got
in
a
5.
Celtic in the building. Bro, we really don't care who we play. We gonna put belt to ass to whoever our opponent is, okay? But thank you.
All I can say is this to you, right? And shout out to you for pulling up first and foremost. But let me say this to you. You saw what happened last year. You don't got the same team you had last year, and you playing the Knicks team that upgraded this year. I don't like your chances, Boston fans. So just sit back, relax, and watch the New York Knicks put in that work this postseason. All right? Because we'll be right there waiting for you.
Yep, I agree. I mean, I'm not really worried. I'm not looking past Atlanta, but I'm not worried. Um,
Exactly.
just not. I don't think. I mean, let me look at their roster. We
Listen,
just we just played them.
you know what their roster is. Their center is a power forward. Like, come on. Cat is going to have a field day on Atlanta if they play through him. I'm telling you. This is the key to winning this series. Cat gotta have these these 25.13 rebound double doubles. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Yeah. Like, if we get any version of that, and we all know Brunson's points per game goes up to 30 when he hits the playoffs. We all know this. If you Knicks fans, you know Brunson just turns into Super Saiyan level 2 when the playoffs come. So I already know what to expect coming from JB. So if we get that type of Karl Anthony Towns in this postseason, I don't see why the Knicks don't make the NBA Finals.
Right, exactly. And I mean, look, I think all our guys have peaked at the right time, right now. You know what I mean? We've seen a lot of what we here on this panel have asked for all season, very recently. And Cat is playing outstanding on both ends at this point of the season. And so I expect it to continue on. I don't think Atlanta has anyone that can stop him.
Nah,
And so he just plays smart and out of foul trouble. He's going to dominate this series. And that's only going to open up the floor more for Jalen Brunson, more for the Josh Harts, Mikal Bridges, and OGs of the game, more for the Deuces. And now that Deuces shot is going in, they in trouble. They're in trouble. But I mean, and it is what it is, and no strays. Yeah, we're gonna have to play Atlanta, Boston, and Detroit. We ain't worried though. We ain't worried.
I mean, they said the same thing last year about us when we played Boston. Oh, you're not gonna beat Boston,
And
and
Detroit for that matter.
yeah, and well, we know how that, we know how that turned out. You know what I mean? So again, you can't always listen to what the naysayers say. But one thing I will tell you is this: is if the Knicks continue to exploit the fact that the Hawks don't have a bona fide center, the Knicks will easily win this series because we have a bona fide center and a modified center.
Right.
Towns is the modified center. Mitch is the bona fide center.
That's a fact.
Only because of their role.
Structure.
Man,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, even if Cat come out of the game, who's gonna stop Mitchell Robinson on the rebound? The pick and roll has become a very effective weapon for the New York Knicks. People, I've been talking about this all season. You can ask the other panel members. You can ask the people that have been watching here. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you right now, if the Knicks continue to use that pick and roll effectively and hunt the matchups like we've been asking them to, listen, man, we're going to the finals, people.
I agree. And Jimmy J, I agree with you. I feel like that has been that. I think that's what kind of surprises me when I see the stats for the season and how the Knicks offensive ratings went up for defense, because I'm like, to me, just in watching the game, it doesn't look better than last season. The defense doesn't look better than last season, in my opinion. But numbers don't lie, right? So I'm gonna go with it. Just like last season, we struggled defending the three. But I think, the Knicks turn it up a notch come playoff time. And that's due to the experience that the team has in the playoffs, whether it be together or not together. And so I absolutely believe that they will do whatever needs to be done to get wins in this playoffs. I mean, they know what's at stake. They know, what continuing on in the playoffs means for the city, and for the team. And I think that's another thing that separates us from Atlanta. They're still a very young team. They don't have the playoff experience that we do. Never mind the matchup issues that we've already talked about. So, it is what it is. I'm not worried. It is. I just wish Trae Young was on that team so he could bust his ass.
Right. You know what I mean? Because he always talking smack about acting like he be owning Madison Square Garden and all that. But we all know, man. Trae Young, we got your number. Don't worry. You down there in Washington now. We can't help you, buddy boy. Well, yeah, Jimmy J one, yeah, those are excellent points, man, because that's the one thing that the Knicks have consistently been having issues with, even in that last meeting against Atlanta. McCullar Alexander Walker went off on us from the 3-point range. He had like 6 3-pointers or something like that. And I'm just like, man, who's guarding this guy? Like,
right.
somebody, he's contest the shot, something. Right, so definitely need to defend the 3-point line better. The Knicks have cut down on complaining to the refs a lot. If you've been paying attention over the course of the season, you know what I mean. And I think this is the reason why Cat is starting the first again, is because, like I've been saying, you gotta just forget all of that stuff that happened before. Play how you playing now. Less of the hook, more of the post up, and hitting things with the move instead of pause. Instead of, you know what I mean, just coming down and looking sloppy and all that. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? It's time for our structure to be set. This is the healthiest we've been all season as well, if y'all ain't even paying attention. Like, and it's wonderful that it's all coming together at the right time. So let's hope we can sustain through not only this first round series against Atlanta, but through the rest of the playoffs if we're able to get that far. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? This is a run that we haven't had our team this healthy all season. So yes, I'm very optimistic about this run, this playoff run coming up. Salute, Will and Oliver. We see you in the building. You already know what it is, man. Um,
Oh, I'm freaking tired today. Whew. Almost didn't make it to today's show. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm tired. Um,
so,
but
uh,
what did you think about Sochan and Dadiet and McCullar's play? I mean, I know
um,
we're not gonna see them. Probably not gonna see Dadiet and McCullar in the playoffs. We may see a stint of Sochan here and there, just for defensive purposes. But I mean, I think they play well today.
I I definitely think they played well today. I mean, there was times where you see everybody is still they come in and it looks like the regular teams on the court because they know where to be for the plays. They run and pick and roll with those guys as well, and off ball screens and I see. So I understand everybody's starting to get on the same page as far as the team objective and playing on the court, and that's good to see. I'm glad to see that. You get a glimpse of the other guys, because who knows? Maybe we are going to see a glimpse of these guys in the playoffs. It depends on the situation. You never know. So again, stay ready so you ain't got to get ready. That's it. You know what I
Fact.
mean? That's just how it works with the NBA. Like you just keep working on what you need to work on. And your number gonna get called eventually. So
Yep. Yep. I agree. I mean, it ain't much to talk about with today's game, to be
it's
honest.
really not. Like I'm not gonna take a deep dive into these stats where we already know where we pretty much at. Like we locked into the third seed, so there's nothing really
Mhm.
too
I
much
mean,
other than
I guess we can talk a little about an ish. So Doc Rivers quits as the Bucks head coach today. That was quick. That was
oh
quick as
yeah.
hell.
Well, I think he finally saw the light. He undertook a project that just needs a lot more work than what he thinks it needed. And it's like, listen, I guess he learned. He just left it alone. He said, I can't wait till game 82. He said, not a moment after game 82 ends, I'm out of it. And he was out of there. So,
Yeah. I think, some coaches, especially old school coaches, they don't like dealing with that diva shit. And I think, having to not only not meet your potential per se, and then have to deal with the media and the whole Giannis nonsense and him acting like a little girl all season, um, probably was too much.
yeah, it definitely was. And then, it's just taken away from the whole team and the gameplay. It's just like, come on, man. You're essentially a superstar. You need it on the floor. Instead, you got all this other hype and hoopla going on. Teams aren't interested in that no more. Like it's the same. It's a similar scenario with John Morant. You know what I mean? Like and his is more of an extreme than what Giannis is. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So if you really think about it, it's like, do teams really want to be engaged in that kind of hoopla? But you see the answer because it doesn't turn out to be a market for players like that. You
Yeah.
know,
Yep.
you got
I
to really
think,
look at it.
especially like for me with John Morant, it's more of a, they should have parted ways with him a long time ago. I think, you know, we talked about it. We didn't talk about this, but kind of the same situation as what's his name, Jaden Ivey, where
Yeah,
teams have to look for what's good for their brand, and that whole drama with John Morant and the gun and all that, that wasn't good for Memphis's brand.
yeah,
So, and regardless of how good he plays, it's always going to be a shadow over him because of that shit. You know what I mean? And kind of the same thing like for Giannis. Like, let's say he comes back next season and, there's no moves in the off season. He comes back and he plays great. basketball, it's still going to be that shadow that he really doesn't want to be there. Like, you already know once the media goes with something, they running with it. There ain't no turning back. Ain't no reversing that story. He don't want to be there. He want to be in New York. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's true, you know. But again, it's like I don't blame Doc Rivers at all for getting out of there. It's like you you took on a project that you thought you could fix, but no, it's way far worse than even what you thought yourself.
Yeah.
So he did the right thing by getting out of there. I think he probably gonna call it a quits after this.
You think so? Like, retire?
Probably. I ain't gonna lie. Doc Rivers, unless a team come along, you know, that decided to take a chance on him or whatever. I don't know. I think he's definitely gonna get Hall of Fame though. Definitely gonna get Hall of Fame.
I don't know. It seems like teams have taken chances on him and it just hasn't worked out time after time. So
True. Clippers, Bucks.
let me see. I'm pulling up the playoff bracket and what it's going to look like. So, of
Well,
course, the Knicks are playing the Hawks. The Pistons are going to play the 8th seed, which we don't know yet. The Celtics are going to play the 7th seed, okay. So the Pistons are either going to play, well,
nah, you won't know yet because the
yeah,
games
we won't know.
just get decided until the end.
Right. Celtics as well. So Cleveland and the Raptors and the Hawks and the Knicks.
That's the only two set matchups right now in
Right.
the East.
To me, it's just crazy. I didn't expect Atlanta to want to play us. I think they would have had an easier way playing Cleveland, but clearly they think that we're the easier ones.
I don't know. This is weird sometimes because you know resting guys. You see, they rested a lot of the guys today too. You know
No,
what
they
I'm saying?
rested all their guys today.
Yeah,
That's why I
that's what
said,
I'm saying.
like, it feels like they wanted to play us. Because
Yeah,
if they would have won, they would have stayed playing Cleveland.
yeah,
And then Toronto didn't rest all their guys because they played RJ and Quickly in hopes of winning, and they did win.
yeah. So, that Cleveland Raptors series is gonna be interesting as well. Very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think to me, Cleveland isn't that good. They really just aren't to me. And so I think whomever played them, I mean, it's not going to be easy, but I think they're out of the top 4 teams, they're the more beatable team, in my opinion.
Plus, let's not forget Donovan Mitchell and James Harden don't know how to get out of the first round if their lives depend on it. All right, so let's be real about that for a minute. You heard it here first. How many times have we seen the likes of Donovan Mitchell and James Harden not make it out of the first round? Right?
Facts. That's a fact.
You know,
Um,
so
yeah, I don't really have much left. I know we only been on
oh,
34 minutes.
I got some. I got
Go
some.
ahead.
Since we're on the subject of it, right? Y'all remember when that Miami Heat fan came over here talking, right? Excuse me. Y'all remember when that Miami Heat fan came over here talking, right? Talking like he wanted to bet with the parlay law. Well, looky here, ladies and gentlemen, let me update y'all real quick on the situation. So, you know, as we know, the Miami Heat have been locked into the play. So the parlay load is plus 200 right now on the bet. With one leg left to go on the bet, meaning if the Knicks defeat the Atlanta Hawks in the first round of this year's playoffs. The Parlay Lord is cashing out $300 straight to his PayPal. So, again, everybody who watches this channel, if you really know, you know. Don't bet against the Parlay Lord. I mean,
Has he reached out to you about the bet, or he's on side?
yes, oh yes. I've even went over to his channel and kicked up dust for him. Yeah, I mean, so he was like, "Drop your PayPal," so I dropped my PayPal on him. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, either way, you up something because 2-1.
So here, let me break it down for everybody, right? So even if the Knicks don't make it out the first round, I'm still up $100.
Facts. But that ain't gonna be the case because we getting out.
Nah, we definitely winning this first round. I know it.
For sure.
But yeah, I guess sometime during this week, I don't know when the playing starts, but I guess sometime during the week we'll decide when we coming up to do an episode on the playoff preview for the Knicks.
Yeah, because I'm looking at TickPick and they have game 1 on Saturday.
Kind of figured the weekend would start the round.
Yeah, so it looks like game 1 is Saturday. Game 2, no, that can't be right. That definitely can't be right. Oh, no. Yeah, that can't be right. Game 1 is Saturday. Game 2 is Monday.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And then game 3 is the next Sunday. That's what it's saying right now. Which is crazy. That's a lot of days in between.
Yeah, that's gonna change. I think game 3 will probably be Tuesday or Wednesday. Well, I would say Wednesday.
Well, I need them to figure it out because I'm definitely going to an Atlanta game. A game in Atlanta. So I need to know the date so I can book my flight.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean,
but yeah, we'll definitely check in with y'all this week, kind of deep dive into the matchups, what the Knicks need to focus on, and stuff like that.
Definitely, And don't forget, y'all, hit the like button. Sharing is caring. Subscribe if you're new and you like what you see here. Hit that bell so you get all notifications when we go live. And of course, don't forget, the Knicks is Shopify link is at the bottom of your screen. You see Sis got one of the lovely hoodies that we have in stock. This is another one of the lovely items in stock. The Parlay Lord hat. You know what I mean? There's plenty of other fire items in there. Go ahead, cop yourself some merch at the Knicks is Shopify. Link is running across the bottom of the screen right now. And if you ain't got nothing else, sis, until next time, everybody, you already know the vibes. It's your favorite Knicks and Ish panel signing off. So, sis, I need you to do me one last favor.
What's that?
Hit the outro.
Boom, shakalaka. The Knicks is the difference. Our grit, that's the difference. These kids are just different. And I pop. You know we lit. Brass tags the